Hi, welcome back. I really should think about what I say before I push record, but I never do, and I probably never will. So if you're expecting one of those polished floss tubes, you're in the wrong spot. If you're expecting a hot mess, buckle in. So it's been a few weeks. I have a bit of stitching to show and some plans to talk about. The plans haven't really changed too much. Life updates haven't really changed too much. There's kind of a pattern here. We're in November. My favorite season is over. Halloween was earlier this week. As I'm recording this, it was on Monday. It's now Thursday. I have dance class tonight. I can't forget that. So now I just kind of go into season. And I know people say there's Christmas in there. Not one of my favorite holidays. I like it. It's okay. But no need to get into that right now. But first I'm going to go take care of that beep and then I'll be right back. Okay, now I have a little bit over 11 minutes until the next beep. So we'll get into what I've been working on. Whips. I have been kind of towing the line, working on Whips Be Gone. I said I had a few projects that I wanted to work on, focus on this month, and those are exactly what I focused on. So we will go in order from least completed to most completed, or actually there's only one that didn't get as much done as the rest. And that is Deal Struck. And the last time I showed this one to you, it looked like this. And here is where I am at right now. So I am up here, well, I'm at the point where I'm doing extreme cross country. So I'm working a color until completion, unless it's something like this color is a huge chunk. So that one I may break up, like do a strand or two and then do a different color. But for most of the colors, I'm at the point where I can just fill in the page. So it's extreme cross country single page version. I'm not going to try to do the whole big huge thing. So you can see those fingers are definitely starting to take more shape, and I am starting to get in here. This looks black, but it's actually navy, and I think this is the beginning of CL's hair, which shows up in between his fingers. So these blues are going to get lighter as we come down and across, because those are actually the hair, which, if you know the character, his hair is kind of a depending on the drawing and depending on the season of the anime, it's either a slate blue or it's closer to a navy blue. So that is, I think, what's actually getting filled in here. And then you can see the rest. Slowly but steadily making progress when I actually get around to working on it. So I had that one. The next one that I have is, I've never shown you this one before, but I have permission now. So this one is the test stitch that I have been working on. And it was designed by Morti. If you don't follow her, well, why not? Morti and David are a lot of fun to watch. It's one of my favorite Flosstubers. One of my coven mates, and she designed this pattern. We were chatting one day, all we being the coven, all of us, not, doesn't matter. Oh my gosh. But we were chatting and we made some sort of joke that stitching was like a secret society and the Stitchinati. And so Morti came up with this pattern, and it's called the All Sewing Eye. And I am one of the test stitchers, And here is what I have so far. Now, this is an awesome pattern. I think it looks awesome. All I have left to do is back stitching, but I have a lot of that to do. I have to go all the way around the inside and the outside. I'm currently working on the bottom outside, but I have to go all the way around the inside and outside of the triangle. I have some words down here to stitch. There's some stitching that goes in here with the bobbin and the needle. So I have quite a bit left to do on this one. It's not an easy pattern, not gonna lie. There are a ton of fractional stitches in this. And then the triangle is done with blending filament. The rays are done with metallics. It is a really fun piece to work on, but it challenges you. So I am going to post the link to Hair Moon Crafts, which is Morti's shop, if you would like to get this pattern for yourself. It's been modified, so it won't look exactly like mine. Based on feedback from some of the test stitchers, Morti has already modified the pattern. So it won't look exactly like this, but actually I think what I have so far is pretty much on point. And that's about it. So that's where I am on that one. The Stiachalong. I was gonna say I'm actually caught up, but I'm not. That's a lie. Because tomorrow the new pattern comes out and there's no way I'm going to work on it tonight. So I am on week 2. And, well, yeah, I finished week 2 and not week 3. So here's where I'm at. This is on 16 Count Silver Mist by Mystic Fabrics. And I'm using one of the 2 recommended palettes for it. So here we go. We added Taco and Cool to what we had last week, or 2 weeks ago now. And, well, I kept up for 2 weeks. That is our new record for me in the Stiachalong. Probably never to be broken again. But yeah, I do intend to try and have this finished by the end of the year. That is one of my more firm goals, because there's no reason I can't if I just make myself work on it. It's fun, it's short. I can do it. I can do it. Next up, Cryptid Sal. This is actually my primary goal for Whips Be Gone, was I want to get this one finished. Last time I showed it to you, here's where I was. And with the 24 hours of cross stitch in there, and it being one of the 2 primary go-to projects I've been working on, here is where I'm at right now. So Bigfoot, literally there's 1 color left. There's a few little, some of the detailing in the upper triangles has to be done, and then Bigfoot will be done. Deathworm, all that needs to be filled in is the color. Then we've got the Kraken and the Flatwoods Monster, and then there's some little, some of the embellishments here, the moons along the side. I have less than 2,000 stitches left on this one. Finally, I'm getting close. This is going to be done by the end of November. If I get nothing else done with Whips Be Gone, this is going to be done by the end of November. All I have to do is about less than 100 stitches a day, 75 stitches a day between now and the end of November, and it'll be done. We can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. This is on 16 Count Olympia by Mystic Fabrics. And then the last thing that I worked on, I actually need to take out of the frame because I got so much done I had to move the Q-snap. My timer is about to beep. It's going to go off as soon as I start talking about this. I know it is. So, this is the Haunted Library Cell. This is by Lola Crow Cross Stitch. Cryptid Cell, if you've been living under a rock or have never watched me before, is by the Witchy Stitcher. I don't think I mentioned that. So, Haunted Library Cell. Last time I showed it to you, this is where I was at. And here is where I'm at now. So, I got all of, I can't see, I hope you can. I got all of the staircase done on the one side, started to get the monster done at the bottom there, and then I've started moving over to the bookshelf up here on top. That is going to be the Edgar Allan Poe shelf. Told ya. Be right back. Okay, where was I? Haunted Library Cell. This actually, I don't think I mentioned, this represents a page finish. That piece. It was a narrow page. The librarian and then the down this side of the page was a narrow page. So now I'm working up here. Working on the Edgar Allan Poe shelf, and then I'm pretty much going straight down. So underneath that one is the spider on the pile of library books. I really did not center this on the fabric, but fortunately it was still long enough. Lucky. So that is priority 2. I do not think I will have this done by the end of November. I've got about 4,000 stitches in out of 16,000. But one of my goals is to have this one done by the end of the year as well. Or to at least consistently keep working on it and work it through until the end instead of dropping it for other things like I usually do. So there you have it. That's what I worked on. Not a lot of projects, but a lot of progress. So I can't complain. Plans. The next couple weeks, more of the same. Cryptid Sal is the #1 goal to get done. Working on Haunted Library in between. I would really like to try to finish the All Sewing Eye. It just depends on that one, since it's on black and it's metallic on black, requires me to be in some better lighting. So I can't work on that one on the fly as much as I can work on some of the other ones, but that's another one that I would like to get close to being done. Maybe I'll catch back up on the Stiach along. I don't know. Depends. If I have other things I want to procrastinate, then that'll get done. But I probably honestly won't pick anything else up until Cryptids is done. So my next floss tube could be a 1 project floss tube. We'll see. So yeah, that's my plans. Not too exciting, kind of boring. It's okay. Oh gosh, I love this so much. I've got Haunted Library just sitting in front of me and I just keep staring at it. Don't look, don't look, go. Okay, so haul. I had to order, I ran out of some flosses. I had to order, and you know what that means. No floss travels alone. So I had, at one point, I was talking with Morti and some of the other test stitchers for the All Sewing Eye and was informed that the sulky that I bought that was originally called for was not going to work very well. This sulky. So I switched over to DMC Diamant. And so I had to order that. And of course, when I ordered that from 123 Stitch, why am I going to pay? I think it actually was going to be more in shipping than the actual floss. So I got some Mill Hill kits. I got another Halloween one. This is Eyeball Martini. I'm going to take this out because glare, probably still glare, but please go back in there nicely. And I got 2 Christmas ones because I don't really have a lot of Christmas projects. And I need to get some more. I'm going to do another cryptid, another Lola Crow cryptid like I did the Jackalope last year. But I have some Mill Hill kits too. So this is Holiday Flamingo. Worry about getting them back into the packages later. And this one is Christmas Palm. Which also has a flamingo on it. So those I got with my Diamant. Then I was working my way through and realized I was going to run out of the blending filament that I needed for the All Sewing Eye, and I did. So that was the other thing that stalled me on the back stitch, but then this arrived, so now I can use this. And while I was ordering that, I got a few other things because no floss travels alone. That's just silly. I got some more needles, which is good because this happened earlier this week. That's the first time I've ever done that. I feel like it's some sort of rite of passage. I finally made it. So I got those, and then I got a couple patterns. The first one I got is from the Blue Flower. It is Halloween Squirrel. Squirrel in the vampire cape. And my fraternity mascot is a squirrel, so I have lots of squirrels. Much like my foxes and flamingos, they tend to accumulate. Ooh, that reminds me. Did I think I also have some Thread Geeks patterns I have to show you. Just a minute. And then I got the Edgar Allan Poe tree from Tiny Modernist. Then I ran out of some more floss, and there is a multi-craft store not too far away from me. I don't really have an LNS in the area. I think there's one a little over an hour away. Honestly, one of my dreams is to someday kind of open an LNS in my little hometown because it's our downtown is Victorian themed, And I think it would be fun to have a little stitching shop with a corner that people can come in and stitch in, and have a little tea room with it as well. A Victorian tea room to go with the theme of the downtown area. I don't know if my little town could support it, but I really would like to do it. I have a name in mind and everything, but anyway, yet another digression. So anyway, I had to go to this little craft store that's like 20 minutes away because they have DMC. And I really didn't feel like I should put in a third order in 2 weeks. So while I was there, I picked up this. A few things. I picked up my floss. I picked up some more floss away bags because I have a few loose flosses that need to be put up. I picked up another Mill Hill flamingo, no less. This is the fall flamingo. I love his little scarf and beret. And then, because I don't have any of my knitting stuff up here, I picked up some double point size 1. These are my sock size double point needles and some sock yarn. This is by Araucania Yarns. And the color is Gala Cockatoo. So I'm going to make a pair of socks out of that. So that's what I got on that trip. Now, as I said, at the same time, the last few weeks, Thread Geeks had a sale. And so I got a few patterns from them. And then my fabric of the month arrived. One of them. I debated holding off because my fabric of the month from Mystic Fabrics should be here tomorrow, I think. And if it is, maybe I will throw it up here. But if it's not, or if I manage to edit this tonight, then I won't. And you'll just see it next time. My November fabric from Mystic. But here's my October fabric from Be Stitch Me, my Lugana, for October. And this is Whimsical. So pretty. And then the last thing I realized that I never did was I never showed you my Forbidden Fiber Company Halloween box colors. So I'm going to do that. And actually this is going to be a first for me because I never opened them. I found them the other day and I'm like, oh yeah, right, I have to do that. So here we go. For number 1. Oh, I like this one. This is Adder's Fork. I'm not going to open them in numerical order because I'm not going to dig through these envelopes. You don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. So number 3, yes. 3 comes after 1 today. is Eye of Newt. Number 12, Wolf's Mane. Number 8, some of the names of these are fun. This is Skull Powder. I'm not showing you any pattern. That is part of the color key for Stitchinati, but there's no actual pattern there. 5. Owlet's Wing. $11. Oh, I like this one. And I like the name too. It's just fun. This is Twice Blessed Water. $10. This would have been really fun to do if I hadn't been in Indy for the first 13 days of October while this was up in here. Spider Legs. It's almost a greeny black. Oh, I forgot the biggest single thing that I have ever bought. I have, you can't really see it very well. Purchased a Lowry work stand because I was starting to have trouble with my wrist, and so it's been a real lifesaver actually not having, oh, now this is crooked. Not having to hold my frame, because this is my mousing hand, and since I'm left-handed, this is also the hand I use to hold my frames while I stitch with my left. So my wrist was starting to really bother me. It's been a lifesaver. But anyway, continuing with our color tour. Number 7. A different black. Raven's Beak. I'll compare these side by side. Spider's Leg and Raven's Beak. Yes, Spider's Leg has definitely got a greener tinge to it. Number 4. I like this one too. Lizard Tongue. Number 9. Snake Venom. $13 would have been the last day. Wool of That. Day number 6. Peppercorn. And day number 2. My favorite one, and it happens to be the one I opened last. Dragon's Breath. And as a reminder, it's in black and white because I hadn't opened them yet, but this is the pattern that those are to be used to stitch. So there you go. There's been my last 2.5, going on 3-ish weeks in a nutshell. Life update, Sunday I will be leaving for Indianapolis again. I have a goal in mind, but I'm not going to say it out loud because that seems to be the surest way not to get done what I want to get done, is to say that I'm going to get it done. So I have a goal in mind for this trip. It was supposed to be a trip to get some of the things I still have to do for my old job out of the way. Those got moved again. This is getting really frustrating because I laugh every time I say this because, you know, how as a year-old woman, this is my thing that I have to say, is that my dad won't let me get a dog until all of my work is done. My dad doesn't want to. For anyone who's relatively new, I moved back to northern Michigan. I'm actually in the house I grew up in, to kind of take care of it, like take care of keeping up the house and stuff, for my dad, who has way too much stuff to do, between his job, he's a farmer, and some of the personal challenges he's having in his life. He just couldn't keep up with the upkeep of a 150-year-old farmhouse. So I am here to help kind of keep the house in order and cook, and the plan is to eventually have my own place not too far away, but for now I'm here. And so my dad said that he's not taking care of my dog, which is fair. I'm an adult, I can take care of my own dog. So he would prefer if I did not get one until I'm not having to go back and forth to Indy all the time. So until I get all of this old work stuff done. Fair, but it's frustrating when these things keep getting moved back. This one was actually supposed to be taken care of before I left my old job in January. And now it's October, and they've just moved it to December. Or it's November now. It's November. Oh my gosh, it's November now. It's November, and they just moved it to December. So I'm frustrated. I'm really frustrated because my thought was it was supposed to be next week, and then I would have like a 2-month period where I could get a dog acclimated before I would have to like send it boarding before my next event was going to be at the end of January. But now that's not going to happen, and so now it's probably going to be at least February, and I really miss having a snuggle buddy. I mean, no one will ever replace Lex, just like no one replaced the dogs that I had before Lexi. But I have been looking forward to having some more company in the house, and now it's not going to happen for a while. But anyway, so that's frustrating, but I'll get through it. We'll figure something out. And I'm gonna go eat my dinner that came out of the oven a while ago and then I'm going to go to dance class. And sometime in the next few days, I'll edit this. So you'll see it eventually. And once you do, I hope you enjoy it. And in the meantime, and I'm going to let you go now. And so in the meantime, until I see you again, stay safe, stay healthy. See you next time. Bye.